Should unelected authorities and bodies interfere with a elected legislature?
अरे तो भाई ये तो फिर डिक्टेटरशिप हो जाएगा अगर इलेक्टेड
In the UK,
मतलब एक
as
बात
per
कहने वाली
UK's
बात है
constitution, the
कि अगर
parliament is
इलेक्टेड
sovereign,
लोग
parliament is supreme.
मान लो कुछ गलती
That's
कर
not the
रहे
case in India.
हैं तो उनको
In
चेक्स में
India,
कौन
it
रखेगा?
is the constitution which is supreme.
कौन सी बॉडी
There
है
is
जो
no
उनको
higher
चेक्स में रखेगी कि अच्छा आप
authority
गलती कर रहे हैं, आप
that is
गलती
above the constitution.
नहीं कर रहे हैं?
Not the
तो
government,
जुडिशरी
not the
विल चेक आई
parliament,
गेस,
not the president,
मतलब मेरे
not the
पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से तो यही समझ में आ रहा है। या तो फिर यूनियन को एक टाइम दे देना चाहिए था कि अच्छा ठीक है कि आप इतने देर में आप
At the end of the day,
कुछ
these
गाइडलाइंस
different
बना
entities
दीजिए,
of the
पहला
state
चांस ऐसे
are
देना
bound
चाहिए था।
by the mandate of
अगर
the
ये
constitution itself. So in India, the parliament is not supreme or sovereign. The vice president was trying to make a point. Jagdeep Dhankar tried to indicate that parliament should be more supreme and sovereign. But that is not what the constitution envisages. That's not what our founding fathers envisaged. And the Supreme Court is simply doing its job by keeping the executive and the government and of course the parliament under check under certain instances. Now see, what has happened under Article 142? Why is there such a big controversy about the power of judicial review? Article 142 is an extraordinary power given to the Supreme Court. It allows the Supreme Court to deliver complete justice.
यस, वो इसलिए दिया गया है
And to
ताकि
deliver
ज़्यादा
complete
डेविएशन
justice,
आए
the
अगर
Supreme Court can issue
कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से
directions
तो
to the parliament, to the
कुछ
government as well.
डायरेक्शन दिया जा सके।
And this
तभी आर्टिकल
provision has been
142 को रखा गया है ना।
several times by the Supreme Court. The extraordinary provision, but it has been invoked several times. Recently, sole controversy is tied to the office of the governor and the role of the governor of Tamil Nadu, R.N. Ravi in particular, regarding how the governor had stalled the bills that had been passed by the state legislature. So we have discussed this topic in detail in our previous sessions. The Supreme Court stepped in. It has virtually granted assent to all these bills which the governor had reserved for President's consideration or where the governor had withheld assent under the powers of Article 200 and Article 201. And the Supreme Court has laid down guidelines to restrict the discretionary powers of the governor. Under Article 200 and 201, now the Supreme Court has set timelines, a timeline of 1 month and 3 months, within which the governor and the president have to take a decision. The Supreme Court has also pointed out that R.N. Ravi was acting with a malified intent, deliberately trying to politicize the bills passed by elected legislature and undermining the federal nature of Indian politics. So this is what led to Vice President of India making this statement, calling Article 142 an unguided nuclear missile. which the Supreme
न्यूक्लियर
Court is
मिसाइल
disposing.
दुख हुआ है बेचारे
The
ने।
Supreme Court is resorting to judicial activism, and he went to the extent to point towards judicial despotism, where the judiciary becomes a despot. placing
मेरे हिसाब
itself
से आप
above
देखो
the
बस
mandate of the
डेस्पोटिज्म
Constitution
नहीं है, जुडिशरी को चेक्स रखना पड़ता है। जुडिशरी का काम ही यही है, दिस इज द बेसिक्स कि वो चेक्स रखे लेजिस्लेचर पे, एग्जीक्यूटिव पे। ऐसा थोड़ी केवल एग्जीक्यूटिव पे चेक्स रखना है, वो लेजिस्लेचर के जो भी रूल्स बनते हैं उनको वो तो जुडिशियल रिव्यू तो करता ही है। उसका काम है देखना ये अच्छा सही हुआ है कि नहीं।
Supreme Court has ordered government